You're so tired, aren't you? Not just the kind of tired that sleep can fix, but that deeper exhaustion, the one that lives in your chest, in your shoulders, in the very center of you. The tiredness that comes from fighting, from trying so hard to change what simply will not change, from pushing against a door that was never meant to open. Tonight feels particularly heavy, doesn't it? Because you've carried this weight for so long, and some part of you, some wise, quiet part, knows that you can't carry it anymore. You came here tonight because something in you is ready to finally, gently, put it down. Before we begin this journey together, just a quick moment. Write in the comments which part of this world you're listening from right now, and what time it is where you are. I'm curious. Are you listening in the quiet of late night, when the world is asleep, but your mind won't rest? Or perhaps in the early morning hours, when sleep hasn't come yet and you're searching for peace? Just leave a word or two, your city, your time, and then settle in. Because this time right now, is entirely yours. Now, let yourself get comfortable. However you're positioned right now, just allow your body to settle a little more deeply into whatever is supporting you. If you'd like, you can close your eyes, or if keeping them open feels better, that's perfectly fine too. There's no right way to do this. Just notice where you are, in this moment, in this space that belongs only to you. And as you're settling, let's take a breath together. Nothing forced, nothing dramatic, just a natural breath in and a slow, easy breath out. And with that exhale, you might notice your shoulders dropping just a little. That's it. Another breath, in through your nose and out, releasing just a bit more of the tension you've been holding. Now bring your attention to your face, your jaw. Notice if you're clenching, and if you are, just let that soften. Let your tongue rest easy in your mouth. Let your forehead smooth. There's nothing you need to figure out right now, nothing you need to solve. Your eyes can be heavy. Your whole face can just rest. Move down to your neck, your shoulders, that place where so much gets stored. Just acknowledge the tightness there. You don't have to fix it. Just notice it and breathe into it. With each breath, imagine those muscles receiving permission to soften, to release, even just a fraction, down through your arms, your hands. Maybe they've been gripping, holding on so tight. Let them open. Let them rest. All the way down through your chest, your belly, your legs, your feet. Just scanning through, not demanding anything, just inviting your body to remember what it feels like to let go. This time is yours. There's nothing to do, nowhere to go. Nobody needing anything from you right now. For the next while, you can simply be here, listening, breathing, allowing. This is sacred space, and you are safe here. You know what you came here to release tonight, don't you? Even if you haven't named it out loud, you know. That thing you cannot change, that situation, that person, that outcome, that past moment, that future you wanted. You know exactly what it is, and you are so incredibly brave for being willing to finally look at it, to finally stop pretending you can fix it, control it, make it different. Maybe it's something that happened that you wish hadn't, something that's broken that you can't repair, someone who left that you can't bring back, a choice someone else made that you had no say in, a part of your body that won't heal the way you hoped, a dream that closed its door. a relationship that ended, a mistake that can't be undone, a truth you didn't want to face. Whatever it is, it's been taking up so much space in your mind, hasn't it? So much energy. You wake up thinking about it. You fall asleep thinking about it. You've turned it over and over, searching for the angle you missed, the solution you haven't tried yet, the way to somehow, maybe, if you just make it different. And tonight, you're exhausted because that kind of fighting, it drains everything from you. Your peace, your joy, your presence in the moments that are actually here, your ability to sleep. You've been spending your precious life force, your beautiful, irreplaceable energy on something that, as much as it hurts to acknowledge, cannot be changed. I want you to know something. And please, really hear this. You are not weak for struggling with this. You are not failing because you haven't been able to accept it yet. The reason you've been fighting so hard is because you care. Because it matters. Because you're human. And humans, we're wired to try to control things. We're wired to fix things, to make things better. It's how we've survived. It's one of our greatest strengths. But sometimes, and this is one of those times, that strength becomes the very thing that's hurting us. The trying becomes the suffering. The fighting becomes the prison. And what you need now, what your exhausted heart needs, what your weary body is begging for, is permission to stop. Not permission to stop caring. Not permission to say it doesn't matter. But permission to stop fighting reality. Permission to stop arguing with what is. Permission to release the rope you've been pulling on, the one that's been pulling back just as hard, creating all that tension, all that strain. You've done everything you could. You really have. You've tried every angle. You've given it everything you have, and it's still here, unchanged. That's not a reflection of your worth, or your power, or your dedication. It's simply the truth of this particular situation. Some things, no matter how much we want them to be different, no matter how hard we try, simply are what they are. And tonight, we're going to practice something radical, something that might feel scary at first, but I promise you, underneath that fear, there's relief waiting. We're going to practice the gentlest, most compassionate form of surrender. Not giving up on life, not becoming passive, not losing yourself, but giving up the specific fight against this one unchangeable thing. Releasing the struggle, opening the tight fist, letting your whole system finally rest. You deserve rest. You deserve peace. You deserve to stop carrying this impossible burden. And somewhere deep inside, you already know that acceptance isn't defeat. It's not betrayal. It's not weakness. It's actually the beginning of your freedom. The doorway back to your own life. So for tonight, just for tonight, you don't have to fight anymore. You can let yourself be exactly as tired as you are, exactly as sad as you are, exactly as confused or angry or heartbroken as you are. All of it is welcome here. And within all of that, you can also begin to soften, to open, to explore what it might feel like, to simply let it be. We're going to take this journey together, slowly, gently, with no pressure, no timeline. Your only job is to keep breathing and listening and allowing yourself to be held by these words, carried toward the peace and sleep you so deeply deserve. You're already doing beautifully, just by being here, just by being willing. You've already begun. You know, there's a reason you've been holding on so tightly. And before we go any deeper into this journey of letting go, we need to honor that reason. We need to understand it. Because you're not holding on out of stubbornness or foolishness or because you don't know better. You're holding on because every cell in your body believes that if you let go, something terrible will happen. That's what we're going to explore together now. The why beneath the grip, the fear beneath the fighting. Because when you understand why you've been holding on with such compassion, with such gentleness, then the releasing becomes possible. Not forced, not violent, but natural. Like a hand that's been clenched, finally remembering it's safe to open. Take another slow breath with me, in and out. Good. You're still here, still safe, still held by this moment. Let's talk about control, because that's really what this is about, isn't it? We humans, we have this deep, powerful need to feel like we have some say in what happens to us, some influence over our lives, our futures, the people we love. It's not a character flaw. It's actually a survival mechanism. It's ancient, primal, written into the very fabric of how we're made. When we were young, so young we can't even remember, we learned that our actions could create outcomes. We cried, and someone came. We reached, and we grasped. We tried, and we succeeded. That cause and effect, that sense of agency, it's what helped us navigate the world. It's what made us feel safe. Because if we can control things, if we can influence outcomes, then we can protect ourselves. We can protect the people we love. We can make sure bad things don't happen. And that worked for so much of life. You learned skills. You made choices. You shaped your world through your effort and your will. You became capable, strong, effective. And somewhere along the way, your mind made a quiet assumption. A belief so fundamental you probably never even questioned it. The belief that if you just try hard enough, you can change anything, fix anything, make anything better. Until you met this thing that won't change, this situation that won't bend, this reality that simply is. And suddenly, all that trying, all that capability, all that strength, it's not working. And that's terrifying. Because if you can't control this, then what else can't you control? If you can't fix this, then maybe you're not as powerful as you thought. Maybe you're not as safe as you believed. So you hold on tighter. You try harder. You search for the angle you missed, the strategy you haven't attempted, the key you haven't found yet. Because letting go, accepting that this is beyond your control, that feels like admitting you're powerless. And powerless feels dangerous. Powerless feels like vulnerability, like standing in the middle of a storm with no shelter. I understand. I really do. And you are so remarkably human for feeling this way. So beautifully, perfectly human. But here's what I want you to consider. Just consider, as you're lying here in the quiet, what if the stories you're telling yourself about letting go aren't actually true? What if acceptance doesn't mean what you think it means? You've been telling yourself stories. We all do. Stories like, if I accept this, it means I'm giving up. Or, if I stop fighting, it means I don't care anymore. Or, if I let go, something even worse will happen. Or, if I surrender, I'm betraying the person I was, the person I wanted to be, the values I hold. These stories, they feel so real. They feel like truth. But what if they're just stories? What if they're the mind's way of trying to protect you, but actually, they're keeping you trapped? Listen, you can stop fighting this thing you cannot change and still care deeply. You can accept what is and still feel the full weight of your emotions about it. You can let go of control and still be a person of strength and integrity. These things, they can coexist. Acceptance doesn't erase who you are. It doesn't diminish what matters to you. It doesn't mean you're okay with everything that's happened. Acceptance simply means you're acknowledging reality. You're seeing what is clearly, without the exhausting filter of, but it should be different. You're releasing the argument with truth. And here's the profound thing. Here's what your tired body already knows, even if your mind is still scared. That releasing, that's where your power actually returns to you. Because right now, all your energy is going into that fight, into the resistance, into the wishing and wanting and trying to force reality to be something other than what it is. You're spending your life force on something that cannot receive it, cannot be changed by it. It's like pushing against a mountain, expecting the mountain to move, and you're exhausted because mountains don't move. They just don't. But you can move. You can shift. You can redirect all that incredible energy you have, all that strength and care and dedication toward things that can actually respond, toward your own healing, toward the parts of your life that are still unfolding, toward the people who are still here, toward the moments that are actually available to you. That's not giving up. That's wisdom. That's you recognizing where your power actually lies, not in changing the unchangeable, but in choosing how you meet it, how you hold it, how you continue living alongside it. And I know there's fear. Fear that if you stop fighting, if you stop rehearsing the past, or trying to engineer a different future, then you'll have to fully feel what you've been running from. The grief, the disappointment, the loss, the unfairness, the pain. And yes, that's real. Those feelings are there. They're part of this. But here's what else is true. You're strong enough to feel them. You've already been feeling them in fragmented, exhausting ways, while also trying not to feel them. The fighting, it's been a way to stay busy, to not have to sit with the full reality. But that strategy, it's not protecting you anymore. It's depleting you. What if, instead of running from those feelings, or fighting to change the situation so you don't have to feel them, you simply allowed them? Let them move through you like weather. Let yourself grieve what needs to be grieved. Rage what needs to be raged. Weep what needs to be wept. Not forever. Not drowning in it, but just allowing it to be here, to move, to pass through. Because feelings, when we stop resisting them, they do pass. They come in waves, and waves always recede. But when we fight them, when we try to control them or suppress them or argue with their existence, they stay. They become stuck, frozen. And we have to keep spending energy to keep them at bay. You are so incredibly brave to be here right now, considering this, to be willing to explore something different, to even entertain the possibility that maybe, just maybe, there's another way, a gentler way, a way that honors both the reality of what cannot change and the reality of your beautiful, tender, exhausted heart. You don't have to decide anything right now. You don't have to let go of anything you're not ready to release. This isn't about forcing yourself into acceptance. It's about understanding, about seeing clearly why you've been holding on, with compassion, and then, when you're ready, beginning to explore what opening might feel like. For now, just breathe. Notice your body again. Has any tension returned while we've been talking? To your jaw, your shoulders, your hands? If it has, that's okay. Just notice. And with your next exhale, see if you can soften it again. Just a little, that's all. Just a little softening. A little willingness to be here, exactly as you are, with all your resistance and all your readiness, all at once. You're doing so well, better than you know. And we're going to keep walking this path together, gently, slowly, until you find yourself on the other side, in a place you might not believe exists yet, a place of peace, of acceptance, of deep, restorative rest. Keep breathing. Keep listening. Keep allowing. That's all you need to do. Now, let's clear something up, because there's a word that might be causing you more pain than the situation itself. And that word is acceptance. You might have heard it before, from well-meaning people, from books, from voices telling you to just accept it and move on. And maybe, when you heard that word, something in you recoiled. Something in you felt angry, dismissed, misunderstood. Because acceptance, it sounds like defeat, doesn't it? It sounds like waving a white flag, like saying this is fine when it's not fine, like pretending something doesn't hurt when it absolutely does, like betraying yourself or someone you love or the truth of what you feel. And if that's what acceptance means, then of course you don't want it. Of course you've been resisting. But what if everything you think acceptance means is wrong? What if the real meaning, the true meaning, is something entirely different? Something that doesn't ask you to abandon yourself, but actually brings you home? Let's breathe together again. In and out. Softening a little more with each breath. Good. Here's what acceptance actually is. And please, listen carefully, because this matters. Acceptance is simply seeing what is, without adding the layer of, and it shouldn't be. It's looking at reality, clearly, honestly, without the filter of your wishes, or your fears, or your ideas of how things should have gone. It's the end of the argument with truth. That's it. That's all. It's not approval. It's not agreement. It's not saying, this is good, or this is right, or I'm happy about this. It's simply acknowledgement. It's saying, this is what is. This is the reality I'm standing in. This happened. This is happening. This is how it is. You can accept something and still hate it. You can accept something and still feel the full force of your grief about it. You can accept something and still wish with every fiber of your being that it were different. Those things, they're not contradictory. They coexist. Acceptance doesn't erase your feelings. It makes room for them. It lets them be exactly what they are, while also letting reality be exactly what it is. Think of it this way. Imagine you're standing in the rain. The rain is falling. That's simply what's happening. Now, you have choices. You can stand there and scream at the rain. You shouldn't be falling. I didn't want rain today. This isn't fair. You can shake your fist at the sky. You can spend all your energy being furious that it's raining. And the rain, it will keep falling. Because that's what rain does. It doesn't respond to your anger. It doesn't change because you don't want it. Or you can accept that it's raining You can say, "It's raining. I don't like it. I'm wet and cold, and this isn't what I wanted. And it's raining." And then, from that place of acceptance, from that place of seeing clearly what is, you can make choices. You can find shelter. You can get an umbrella. You can change your clothes when you get home. You can take care of yourself within the reality of the rain. Acceptance doesn't mean you have to like the rain. It means you stop spending your energy fighting the fact that it's falling. And all that energy you were using to fight suddenly becomes available for taking care of yourself, for finding your way through, for living your life even though it's raining. That's the difference, the profound, life-changing difference. Acceptance isn't passive. It isn't resignation. It isn't giving up. It's actually the most active, powerful thing you can do, because it's where choice becomes possible again. When you're busy fighting reality, arguing with what is, you're not actually in your life. You're in a fantasy. A fantasy where you can somehow think hard enough, or try hard enough, or want it badly enough, and change the past, or control the future, or make someone else be different. And in that fantasy, you're powerless, because you're trying to do the impossible. But when you accept what is, when you see clearly, when you stop the argument, you step back into your actual life, the one that's happening right now, the one where you do have power. Not power over the unchangeable thing, but power over how you respond, how you hold it, how you move forward, what you do next, who you become in the face of it. Acceptance is you saying, "I see the truth, I acknowledge the reality, and from here, from this honest place, I can choose how to live." That's not defeat, that's courage. That's you reclaiming your agency in the only place it actually exists, in this moment, with what is. And here's something else, something tender and important. Acceptance doesn't mean you stop caring. It doesn't mean that the thing that happened doesn't matter. It doesn't mean you're okay with it, or that you condone it, or that you've become cold or detached. You can accept fully and still carry love, still carry values, still carry the truth of what you feel. If someone you love is gone, accepting that they're gone doesn't mean you stop loving them. It means you stop torturing yourself by pretending they might walk back through the door. It means you let your love exist in the form it can actually take now, in memory, in gratitude, in the ways they changed you. If something happened that was wrong, accepting that it happened doesn't mean you think it was right. It means you stop replaying it endlessly, trying to change it. It means you free yourself from being trapped in that moment forever. It means you can seek justice or healing or growth from a place of clarity rather than a place of denial. If your body is different than you wanted it to be, accepting that doesn't mean you stop caring for it or hoping for improvement where improvement is possible. It means you stop spending your energy wishing it were fundamentally other than it is. It means you can work with what you have rather than against it. It means you can find peace in your own skin. You are not betraying anything by accepting reality. You're not becoming less than you were. You're not losing your integrity or your values or your heart. You're simply, finally, telling yourself the truth. And truth, even when it's painful, even when it's not what you wanted, is where freedom lives. The prison you've been in, it's made of the bars of it should be different. Every should is another bar. Every if only is another lock. And acceptance. Acceptance is the key. Not because it changes anything external, but because it releases you internally. It lets you step out of the cage of arguing with reality and back into the flow of your actual life. And your life, it's still here, still waiting for you, still unfolding, still full of moments that need your presence, still full of beauty you haven't noticed because you've been looking backward or forward instead of here, still full of possibility, different possibility than you imagined, but possibility nonetheless. That's what acceptance gives you back. Not happiness necessarily, not the absence of pain, but presence, the ability to be here, to be alive in this moment, to stop spending your precious, irreplaceable now on an unchangeable then or an uncontrollable future, to feel your feet on the ground, to take the next breath, to see what's actually in front of you. You deserve that. You deserve to be released from the exhausting work of fighting reality. You deserve to have your energy back, your attention back, your life back. And acceptance, true acceptance, that's how you reclaim it. So let's practice, right now, just for a moment. You don't have to commit to anything. You don't have to let go of anything forever. Just for this breath, let's try it on. Let's see what it feels like. Bring to mind, gently, that thing you cannot change. And instead of the usual mental loop, the wishing, the fighting, the if only, just say to yourself, this is what is. This happened. This is real. This is the truth. Just that. Nothing more. No judgment about whether it should or shouldn't be. Just, this is. Notice what happens in your body when you do that. Does something shift? Does something soften? Or does resistance rise up? Whatever happens. That's okay. That's just information. That's just where you are right now. And wherever you are, it's exactly right. You're learning. You're exploring. You're beginning to see that maybe, just maybe, acceptance isn't the enemy. Maybe it's been the friend you've needed all along. The one who tells you the truth. The one who says, you can stop fighting now. You can rest. You're going to be okay. Keep breathing. Keep softening. Keep allowing this new understanding to settle into you. Gently. Like snow falling on quiet ground. There's no rush. There's nowhere to get to. Just this slow, tender journey toward peace. You're doing beautifully. So beautifully. And we're going to keep going deeper, gentler, until you find yourself held completely in acceptance, in peace, in the sleep you so deserve. Now that we understand what acceptance truly is, let's move into the practice of it, the actual experience of releasing. Because understanding is one thing, but doing, that's where the real transformation happens. And I want you to know, right from the beginning, this isn't going to be forceful. This isn't going to be harsh. We're going to do this the way a flower opens, naturally, gently, in its own perfect timing. Take a breath with me. Let it be slow, easy, no effort required. And as you exhale, just notice if you can release even a tiny bit more tension. Just a fraction. That's all we're asking right now. Your body already knows how to let go. It does it all the time, without you even thinking about it. When you've been holding something heavy and you finally set it down, your muscles release automatically. When you've been tense and you step into a warm bath, your whole system softens. When you've been holding your breath and you finally exhale, there's that natural relief. Your body understands release. It's your mind that's been getting in the way, telling you it's not safe, telling you that holding on is protection. But right now, we're going to bypass all that thinking and speak directly to the wisdom of your body. Because your body, it's tired of fighting too. Imagine for a moment that the thing you've been trying to control, the thing you cannot change, is like a rope, and you've been holding one end of this rope, gripping it tightly, pulling on it with all your strength. And on the other end, reality itself is holding the rope. And reality, it's not pulling back with effort or anger. It's just standing there, immovable, unchanged. And between you and reality, all this tension, all this strain, your hands cramping, your arms aching, your whole body exhausted from the pulling. What would happen if you just opened your hands, not throwing the rope away violently, not making a dramatic gesture, just gently, slowly letting your fingers unfurl, letting the rope slip from your grip, letting it fall? Would reality crumble? Would the world end? Or would it just be? Would it just continue being exactly what it is while you finally got to rest your tired arms? Let's try it. Right now, in this safe, quiet space. Make a fist with one of your hands. Squeeze it tight. Feel the tension. Feel how much energy it takes to hold that grip. Hold it, and now, slowly, let it open. Let your fingers unfurl. Let your palms soften. Let your whole hand just rest. Feel that? That's what we're talking about. That release, that softening, that return to ease. You can do this with what you've been holding in your mind and heart too. Not all at once. Not forever if you're not ready. But just for now. Just for this moment. You can practice opening. Bring that situation to mind again. That thing you cannot change. And instead of gripping it, analyzing it, fighting it, just hold it lightly, like you're holding a leaf that landed in your palm. You're not crushing it. You're not throwing it away. You're just holding it gently, acknowledging it's there. And then, when you're ready, you can let the wind take it. You can watch it drift away. You can let it be part of the world without being clenched in your fist. This is the practice. Gentle holding and gentle releasing. Over and over. Because release, it's not usually one big dramatic moment. It's a series of small openings, small softenings, each one a little easier than the last. You might feel waves of resistance as you practice this. That's completely natural. Part of you will want to grab the rope again. Part of you will panic and think, but if I let go completely, what then? And when that happens, you don't fight it. You don't judge yourself for it. You just notice. Oh, there's the fear again. There's the holding again. And you breathe into it. You speak to it gently. I know you're trying to protect me. Thank you. But we're safe. We can let go a little bit. Just a little bit. It comes in waves. Release. Resistance. Release. Resistance. Like breathing. Like tides. And that's perfect. That's exactly how it should be. You're not trying to become someone who never holds on. You're just practicing. Opening a little more each time. Trusting a little more each time. That you can survive without the grip. And here's what you'll start to notice. As you practice this gentle releasing, space opens up. Space in your chest. Space in your mind. Space in your day. All that energy you were using to hold and fight and resist, it becomes available again. And into that space, other things can come. Breath, ease, present moment awareness, maybe even, eventually, peace. You'll notice that you can think about the situation without that immediate clench of panic or anger. You can acknowledge it. Yes, this is true. This is what happened. This is how it is. And your whole system doesn't go into emergency mode. You can hold it, and yourself, with more gentleness, more spaciousness. You'll start to sleep better, because you won't be spending your nights mentally wrestling with the unchangeable. You'll lie down, and instead of the endless replay, the endless planning of impossible scenarios, you'll be able to just breathe, just rest, just let your body do its healing work while you sleep. You'll find moments in your day when you're actually here, actually present, not lost in the past or the future, not fighting invisible battles, but here, feeling the sun on your face, tasting your food, hearing the sounds around you. Your life, the one that's actually happening, it will start to come back into focus. This doesn't mean you won't still feel sad sometimes, or angry, or frustrated. Those feelings, they're part of being human. They're part of caring. But they'll move through you instead of getting stuck. They'll be weather passing through the sky of you, instead of a permanent storm you have to live in. And slowly, so slowly, you might not even notice it happening. The thing you couldn't change will take up less space, not because it doesn't matter, but because you're not feeding it with constant resistance. You're not keeping it alive and fresh with your fighting. You're letting it, gradually, become part of your story instead of the only story, part of your past instead of your entire present. That's the gift of releasing. That's what opens up when you stop using all your energy to hold on. Your life comes back. Your presence comes back. Your peace comes back. Not because the situation changed, but because you stopped demanding that it be different than it is. So let's practice once more, right now. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, imagine that you're breathing out the grip, breathing out the fight, just for this moment, just for this breath. Opening your hands, softening your heart, letting reality be what it is, while you rest, in and out, opening and softening, releasing and resting, again, in and out. Each breath a small practice of letting go, each exhale a gentle surrender. You're doing this. You're actually doing it right now. And it's beautiful. You're beautiful. This courage you're showing, this willingness to try something different, to explore a gentler way, it's extraordinary. You might not feel extraordinary, but you are. You absolutely are. Keep breathing. Keep practicing. Keep allowing this new way of being to become familiar. We're going to go even deeper now into what remains when you stop fighting, into who you are without the battle, into the strength and wholeness that's been there all along, waiting for you to come home. You're safe. You're held. And you're learning to hold yourself with the tenderness you've always deserved. Keep going. Just keep breathing. Just keep softening. That's all. That's everything. So now, as you continue breathing, continue softening. I want you to discover something you might not have noticed while you've been so busy fighting. Because when we're in the middle of the battle, when all our energy is focused on trying to change what cannot be changed, we lose sight of something essential. We lose sight of who we actually are beneath all that struggle. And what I want you to see now, what's becoming visible as you release your grip, is this. You are still here, whole, present, real. The unchangeable thing, as much as it matters, as much as it hurts, it hasn't destroyed you. It hasn't erased who you fundamentally are. Let that settle in for a moment. Breathe with it. You are still here. All this time you've been fighting, part of what you were afraid of was that if you stopped, if you accepted, if you let go, you would somehow disappear. That without the struggle, you wouldn't know who you are, that the fighting was holding you together. But look at what's actually true. You're releasing right now, bit by bit, and you're not disappearing. You're not falling apart. If anything, you're becoming more solid, more real, more yourself. Because here's what happens when you stop spending all your energy on the impossible. All that strength you have, all that capacity, all that incredible life force, it comes back to you. It returns home. And suddenly you remember, oh, I'm not just this fight. I'm not just this situation. I'm so much more than that. Who are you without the battle? Let's find out together. You are someone who has survived. Not just survived this one thing we've been talking about tonight, but survived everything that's brought you to this moment. Every loss, every disappointment, every hard thing. You're still here, still breathing, still capable of seeking peace. That's not nothing. That's extraordinary. That's evidence of a resilience so deep you probably don't even recognize it anymore because it's just who you are. You are someone who cares deeply. The reason this thing hurts so much, the reason you've been fighting so hard, is because you care, because things matter to you, because you're not indifferent, not numb, not checked out. You're fully alive, fully feeling, fully engaged with your life, even when it's painful. That's a gift. That's your heart still beating, still open, still willing to feel. Don't lose sight of that. You are someone with wisdom. Maybe you don't feel wise right now. Maybe you feel confused or lost or like you've been doing everything wrong. But wisdom isn't about having all the answers. Wisdom is about being willing to learn, being willing to question, being willing to try a different way when the old way isn't working. And you're here, right now, doing exactly that. That's wisdom. That's you trusting something deeper than your fear. You are someone who has values, principles, things that matter to you beyond just your own comfort. The thing you've been struggling with, it likely touches something important to you. Love, justice, loyalty, hope, safety, connection. You wouldn't be struggling if you didn't have values. And those values, they don't go away when you accept reality. They're still here. They're part of your foundation, part of what makes you, you. You are someone who has gotten through hard things before. This isn't your first struggle. It might be one of the hardest, but it's not the first. Think back. There have been other moments when you thought you couldn't survive. Other times when the pain seemed too much. Other situations that felt impossible. And yet, you did get through them. Maybe not in the way you expected. Maybe not without scars. But you got through. You found a way. And that means you can find a way through this too. You are someone with capabilities, skills, things you're good at, ways you contribute to the world. And those haven't vanished just because this one thing is out of your control. You can still do what you know how to do. You can still offer what you have to offer. You can still be useful, helpful, creative, productive, in all the ways that are actually available to you. The unchangeable thing, It doesn't define your entire capability. It's just one area where your power doesn't reach. But there are so many other areas where it does. You are someone who is still growing, still learning, still becoming. This moment, right now, this journey toward acceptance, it's actually part of your growth, part of your evolution. You're learning something profound about surrender, about peace, about what real strength looks like. You're developing a capacity you didn't have before. The capacity to hold pain without being destroyed by it, to acknowledge loss without losing yourself, to be flexible, adaptive, resilient in ways you never had to be before. You are someone who deserves rest, deserve peace, deserve to be held with tenderness by yourself and by life itself. You don't have to earn that through perfect acceptance or perfect anything. You deserve it simply because you're a human being who's been carrying something heavy. And every human being carrying something heavy deserves a place to set it down, deserves gentle words, deserves soft ground to rest on. And here's something else, something that might surprise you. You are someone who has choice. Even now, even with this unchangeable thing, you can't choose whether it happened. You can't choose to make it different. But you can choose how you hold it, how you speak to yourself about it, how you move forward with it, what meaning you make of it, what you do next, where you place your attention, how you spend your energy. That's your power. Not power over external reality, but power over your inner world, power over your response, power over the story you tell, power over whether you spend the rest of your life fighting or whether you choose, gradually, gently, to find peace. And within that space, within that power you still have, there's so much possibility, different possibility than you imagine. Yes, but possibility nonetheless. New ways of being, new relationships to yourself and others, new understandings, new strengths you never had to develop when things were easier, new depths of compassion and wisdom and resilience. The unchangeable thing, it closed one door. Maybe a door you really wanted to walk through. Maybe the door you thought your whole life depended on. But it didn't close all doors. It didn't end your story. It redirected it, changed its course. And in this new direction, there are things waiting for you that you can't see yet. Things you wouldn't have found if everything had gone according to your plan. I'm not saying that makes it fair. I'm not saying you should be grateful for the loss or the pain. I'm just saying your life isn't over. Your story isn't finished. This chapter has been hard, so hard, but there are more chapters coming. And you're still the one living them, still the one choosing, within the reality you've been given, how to show up, how to be, who to become. And who you are, who you're becoming, is someone who knows how to release what cannot be held. Someone who knows how to accept what is without losing themselves. Someone who knows how to find peace even when circumstances aren't peaceful. Someone who knows the difference between giving up and letting go. Someone who has learned one of life's hardest and most liberating lessons. That surrender isn't weakness. It's wisdom. It's freedom. It's coming home to yourself. That's who you are. That's what remains when you stop fighting. Not less than you were, but more. More present. More whole. More connected to your actual life and your actual power. More capable of peace. More capable of joy when it comes. More capable of simply being here, in this moment, in this breath, in this beautiful, imperfect, ever-changing life. You're magnificent. You really are. And I know you don't feel magnificent right now. You feel tired. You feel hurt. You feel like you've lost something. And all of that is true too. But it doesn't erase this other truth, that you're still standing, still here, still capable of so much, still worthy of peace, still deserving of gentleness, still, somehow, even now, whole. Rest in that. Let yourself feel it, even if it's just a flicker. You haven't been destroyed. You've been changed, yes. You've been hurt, yes. But you're still you, still valuable, still here, still capable of finding your way to peace. Breathe into that knowing. Let it support you, like the ground beneath you. You are held by your own strength, by your own wisdom, by your own beautiful, resilient heart that keeps beating, keeps caring, keeps trying, keeps opening. Even after everything, you're doing so well. And we're going to keep going. Deeper into this peace, deeper into this rest, until you find yourself completely held, completely at ease, drifting gently toward the sleep that will heal you. Now, let's talk about how you're going to hold this going forward. Because acceptance isn't just one moment. It's not something you do once and then it's finished. It's more like a practice, a way of meeting reality that you'll return to again and again. Some days it will feel easy. Some days it will feel impossible. And that's okay. That's part of being human. What we're doing right now, as you lie here in the quiet, is rewriting the story. Not the story of what happened, that's unchangeable, but the story of what it means. The story of who you are in relationship to it. The story of how you carry it. And this new story, it's one of peace instead of war. Acceptance instead of resistance. Integration instead of fracture. Take another breath. Let yourself settle even more deeply. Feel how your body is learning to hold this differently already. How there's a little more space, a little more ease. Even if it's subtle, it's there. The old story went something like this. This thing happened. It shouldn't have happened. It's wrong. It's unfair. I can't accept it. If I accept it, I'm giving up. I have to keep fighting. I have to keep trying to change it. Until I can change it, I can't be at peace. I can't move forward. I can't rest. That story, it's been keeping you trapped, keeping you exhausted, keeping you from your actual life. It's been a prison made of words, made of beliefs, made of fear, masquerading as strength. But there's another story, a different story, one that's just as true, actually more true, because it aligns with reality instead of fighting against it. And this story goes like this. This thing happened. I didn't want it to happen. It hurts. It's not what I would have chosen. And it's real. It's part of my story now. Part of what shaped me. Part of what I have to integrate and carry. I cannot change it. I've tried. I've given everything I have to trying, and it remains unchanged. So now, I choose differently. I choose to stop fighting what is. I choose to acknowledge reality. I choose to release the rope, not because I don't care, but because I care about my own peace more than I care about being right about how things should be. I choose to live fully in the reality that actually exists, rather than halfway in the reality I wish existed. I choose to use my energy for what I can actually influence: my healing, my growth, my presence, my relationships, my moments. I choose acceptance, not because it's easy, but because it's the path to freedom. and I deserve to be free. That's the new story. Feel how different it is. Feel how it doesn't ask you to betray yourself or stop caring or pretend everything is fine. It just asks you to stop fighting, to see clearly, to come back to your actual life. And here's how you practice living this new story, day by day, moment by moment. When the old story tries to grab you again, and it will, you notice, oh, there I go again, replaying the past, wishing it were different, fighting with reality. And instead of judging yourself for that, instead of making it another battle, you just gently redirect. Yes, this is what happened. Yes, it hurt, and I'm choosing to accept it now. I'm choosing peace. At first, it might feel mechanical, like you're just saying words. That's okay. Keep saying them. Keep practicing. Because eventually, gradually, the words become your truth. The practice becomes your nature. And one day, you'll notice you're not fighting anymore. You're just living, accepting, being here. When memories come, because they will, you don't have to push them away or drown in them. You can hold them differently. Yes, that happened. That was painful. That was real. And then, gently, you can return to now, to this breath, this moment, this choice to be present rather than lost in the past. When the unfairness rises up, because it will, you don't have to pretend it wasn't unfair. You can acknowledge it. You're right, it wasn't fair. Life isn't always fair, and I'm still here, still choosing to live, still finding my way. You can hold both, the truth that it wasn't fair and the truth that you're moving forward anyway. When the grief comes in waves, because grief doesn't follow a linear path, you let it. You make space for it. Hello, grief. I know you. You're here because I loved, because I cared, because it mattered. You're welcome here. Move through me. I won't fight you. I won't drown in you. I'll just let you pass through. And it will. Waves always do. This is how you carry something unchangeable without being destroyed by it. This is how you integrate loss without losing yourself. This is how you find peace while still honoring that it hurt. You hold it all, with gentleness, with truth, with acceptance, with self-compassion. And here's what else shifts in this new story. Your relationship with yourself changes. Because in the old story, you were probably being pretty hard on yourself. Angry that you couldn't fix it. Frustrated that you couldn't let go faster. Judging yourself for still struggling. Making yourself wrong for not being further along. But in this new story, you're kind to yourself. You understand that this is hard, that you're doing your best. That healing doesn't happen on a schedule. That acceptance is a practice, not a destination. You speak to yourself the way you'd speak to someone you love who's going through something difficult, with tenderness, with patience, with compassion. I know this is hard for you. I know you're tired. I know you wanted things to be different, and you're doing so well. You're here. You're trying. You're opening. You're learning. I'm proud of you. I'm here with you. We're going to get through this together. That's how you talk to yourself now. That's the voice that carries you, not the harsh critic, not the demanding taskmaster, but the gentle friend, the wise companion, the part of you that knows how to love yourself through anything. And from that place of self-compassion, from that foundation of acceptance, you start to notice something beautiful. You start to see what this has taught you. Not because you're grateful for the pain, but because you're wise enough to recognize that nothing is wasted. that even the hardest things, they shape us. They show us what we're made of. They teach us what matters. They deepen us in ways ease never could. You've learned about your own resilience, about your capacity to endure, about your ability to keep going even when it's hard. You've learned about what you truly value, about what really matters when everything else falls away. You've learned that you're stronger than you thought, more flexible, more capable of transformation. You've learned that you can survive what you thought would destroy you, that you can carry pain without being defined by it, that you can integrate loss and still find moments of joy, that you can accept what is while still honoring what was, that you can change, adapt, grow, become someone you never imagined you'd need to be, and still be yourself. These lessons, they're yours now, forever. Nobody can take them from you. And they'll serve you, not just with this situation, but with everything else that life brings. Because now you know. You know how to surrender, how to accept, how to find peace even when circumstances aren't peaceful, how to hold the unchangeable without being held hostage by it. That's wisdom. That's growth. That's something precious emerging from something painful. And while you'd probably give it all back to have things be different, since you can't, at least you can honor what you've gained. At least you can recognize that you haven't just been broken by this. You've been transformed, made deeper, made wiser, made more fully human. So this is your new story, your new way of holding this unchangeable thing. With acceptance, with compassion, with wisdom, with an open hand instead of a clenched fist, with presence instead of resistance, with the understanding that peace is possible, not someday when everything is perfect, but right now, in this breath, in this moment, exactly as things are. You're writing this new story with every breath you take. With every moment you choose acceptance over fighting. With every time you're gentle with yourself instead of harsh. With every wave of emotion you allow instead of suppress. With every return to now instead of dwelling in then. And this story, it's going to carry you forward, into tomorrow, into next week, into the rest of your life. Not perfectly, not without hard days, but with more peace, more freedom, more presence, more of your energy available for actually living instead of perpetually fighting. You're doing it right now. You're already doing it. And I'm so deeply proud of you, so honored to be here with you in this moment of transformation. So grateful that you're allowing yourself this gentleness, this truth, this path toward peace. Keep breathing, keep softening, keep opening to this new way of being. We're moving into even deeper rest now, where your body and mind can truly let go, where healing happens naturally, where sleep comes like a blessing, welcoming you home. There's something we need to talk about now, something important, something that might be the very thing you've been most afraid of. We need to talk about your feelings, all of them, the messy ones, the difficult ones, the ones that don't fit neatly into the narrative of, I'm accepting this now and moving on. Because here's a truth that might surprise you. Acceptance doesn't mean your feelings go away. It doesn't mean you suddenly feel peaceful and calm and okay about everything. It means you make room for all of it. The acceptance and the anger, the surrender and the sadness, the peace and the pain. They coexist. They're allowed to coexist. Breathe with me. Let your body continue to soften. We're creating a space here where everything you feel is welcome. You might have thought, somewhere in the back of your mind, that if you truly accepted this unchangeable thing, you'd have to stop feeling upset about it. That acceptance meant being okay with it, being at peace with it, maybe even finding some silver lining or deeper meaning that makes it all worthwhile. And if you can't feel those things, if you're still sad or angry or hurt, then you must not be doing acceptance right. But that's not true. That's not how this works. And I need you to really hear this. You can accept something completely and still hate it. You can surrender to what is and still wish with everything in you that it were different. You can stop fighting reality and still feel the full weight of your grief about it. These things, they're not contradictory. They're human. Acceptance isn't about changing your feelings. It's about changing your relationship with reality. You stop arguing with the facts. You stop spending your energy trying to change what cannot be changed. But your feelings, those are yours. They're valid. They're real. They're allowed to be exactly what they are. So let's make space for them right now. All of them, without judgment, without trying to fix them or rush them or make them more palatable. Just let them be here. If you're sad, be sad. If there's grief in you, let it rise. Don't push it down. Don't tell yourself you shouldn't still be feeling this. Grief isn't something you do wrong. It's something you feel because you loved, because something mattered, because you're capable of caring deeply. That's beautiful. That's your heart still beating, still feeling, still alive. Let the sadness move through you like water. Let it fill you if it needs to. Let yourself cry if tears come. There's no shame in it, no weakness, just truth. Just your body releasing what it needs to release, water finding its way out. Grief is like that. It needs to move. It needs to be witnessed. It needs to flow. If you're angry, be angry. If there's rage in you about the unfairness of it all, about how wrong it is, about how it shouldn't have happened this way, let that be here too. Anger isn't the opposite of acceptance. Sometimes anger is part of the path toward it. Sometimes you need to feel the full force of your no before you can arrive at your yes. Anger is energy. It's life force. It's your system saying, this matters to me. Don't suppress it. Don't shame yourself for it. Just notice it. Feel where it lives in your body. Maybe it's heat in your chest. Maybe it's tension in your jaw. Maybe it's a restlessness in your limbs. Let it be there. Let it move. You don't have to act on it. You don't have to hurt anyone with it. You just have to feel it. Give it space. Let it speak its truth. If you're scared, be scared. If there's fear about what comes next, about whether you'll be okay, about how you'll live with this, let that fear be here too. Fear isn't failure. Fear is your nervous system trying to keep you safe, trying to protect you. It doesn't always know the difference between real danger and emotional discomfort. So it sounds the alarm, and you can acknowledge it. I hear you, fear. Thank you for trying to protect me. But I'm safe right now. Right here. Right now. I'm safe. You can be afraid and still move forward. You can be uncertain and still take the next step. You don't have to wait until the fear is gone. You just have to hold it gently while you continue breathing, while you continue opening, while you continue choosing acceptance, even while feeling afraid. If you're confused, be confused. If you don't understand why this happened, or what it means, or how you're supposed to make sense of it, that's okay. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to understand everything. Some things, they don't make sense. They just are. And you can accept them while still not understanding them. You can surrender to the mystery, to the not knowing, to the reality that life doesn't always provide neat explanations. If you're disappointed, be disappointed. If this isn't what you wanted, if your life looks different than you imagined, if dreams died, if hopes were crushed, feel that disappointment fully. Mourn what didn't happen. Grieve the life you thought you'd have, the person you thought would stay, the body you thought you'd keep, the future you thought was yours. Let yourself feel the loss of all of it. And here's the crucial thing. Here's what makes this different from the fighting you've been doing. You're not dwelling in these feelings, trying to change the past. You're not using them as fuel for resistance. You're just allowing them, witnessing them, giving them space to exist and move and eventually pass. Because feelings, when we stop resisting them, they do pass. They come in waves. They rise. They crest. They fall. They recede. And then there's space again. There's breath again. There's a moment of calm before the next wave. But when we fight our feelings, when we judge them or suppress them or try to logic them away, they get stuck. They become frozen. They take up permanent residence in our bodies. And then we have to spend energy keeping them at bay, building walls around them, pretending they're not there. That's exhausting. That's what you've been doing. Not just fighting the unchangeable situation, but fighting your own feelings about it. Trying to be strong, trying to be positive, trying to move on faster than you're actually moving, trying to feel differently than you actually feel. But you don't have to do that anymore. You can just feel what you feel without making it mean something about your progress, without making it mean you're doing acceptance wrong, without making it mean anything except, this is what I feel right now. This is what's true for me in this moment. And you know what happens when you stop fighting your feelings? When you let them be exactly what they are? They soften. Not immediately, not all at once, but gradually. The intensity lessens, the grip loosens. They become something you're experiencing rather than something that's consuming you. You can feel sad and also notice the warmth of your blanket. You can feel angry and also hear birds singing outside. You can feel afraid and also recognize that in this moment, right now, you're actually safe. The feelings don't have to be all of you. They can be part of you, moving through you while you remain you, whole, present, breathing. This is acceptance in its fullest form, accepting not just the unchangeable situation, but accepting yourself, all of yourself, your feelings, your struggles, your humanness, your imperfection, your ongoing process. You don't have to be healed yet. You don't have to be past this yet. You don't have to be anywhere other than exactly where you are. Right here, right now, feeling what you feel, being who you are, carrying what you're carrying, and doing it all with gentleness, with self-compassion, with the understanding that you're doing the very best you can with what you have. And that's enough. You're enough. Exactly as you are. Even with all these complicated feelings, even with all this unfinished healing, even with all this ongoing struggle, you're enough. You're human. You're real. And every single thing you're feeling, it's valid. It's allowed. It's welcome here in this space we've created together. So breathe into your feelings now. Whatever's present, whatever's moving through you. Don't push it away. Don't judge it. Just let it be. Let it move. Let it speak. Let it exist. While you continue to exist, while we continue this gentle journey toward peace, toward rest, toward the sleep that will hold you and heal you and carry you into tomorrow. You're so brave, braver than you know, to feel all of this and still keep going, to open to all of this and still choose peace, to hold all of this and still trust that you're going to be okay. You are. You're going to be okay. Not because the situation changed, but because you're learning how to hold it, how to hold yourself, how to be present with all of it, the acceptance and the feelings, the surrender and the struggle, the peace and the pain, all at once. That's the wholeness you've been seeking, not the absence of difficulty, but the capacity to hold difficulty with grace, with compassion, with your heart still open, still feeling, still, somehow, at peace. Keep breathing, keep feeling, keep allowing. We're going deeper still, into rest, into release, into the healing that comes when you finally stop fighting yourself. Now, as you continue breathing, as you continue holding all of yourself with such tenderness, we arrive at something beautiful, something you might not have expected, because you've been so focused on what you've lost, on what you cannot change, on what's been taken from you or denied to you or broken beyond repair, that you might not have noticed what's still here, what remains, what's actually yours. Let yourself sink even deeper into relaxation now. Let your whole body melt a little more into whatever is supporting you. There's nothing you need to do, nothing you need to figure out. Just be here and listen and discover what I'm about to show you. You've been thinking about this unchangeable thing as something that's been taken from you, as loss, as absence, as what you don't have. And yes, that's part of the truth, but it's not the whole truth. Because while one thing has been closed off, while one door has been shut, other things have remained open. Other doors, other possibilities, other parts of your life that are still here, still available, still waiting for your attention. What if, instead of focusing on what you cannot change, what if, just for these next few moments, we turn our attention to what you can? Not in a forced, positive thinking, pretend, everything is fine kind of way, but in a real, grounded, honest way. Looking at what's actually true, what's actually here, what you actually have. You have this breath, right now, this inhale, this exhale, the miracle of your lungs filling and emptying, your body doing what it knows how to do without you even trying. That's yours. Nobody can take that from you. No situation can change that fundamental reality that right now, in this moment, you're breathing, you're alive. You have this moment, this present moment, the only moment that actually exists. Not the past you've been replaying, not the future you've been worrying about, but this, right here, right now. The softness of where you're lying, the temperature of the air, the sounds around you, or the silence, the feeling of your own body, the awareness itself. That's all yours. That's all here. That's all available to you when you stop fighting and start noticing. You have your capacity to choose, not to choose what happened, not to choose what others do, not to choose outcomes beyond your control, but to choose how you meet this moment, what you think about, where you place your attention, how you speak to yourself, what you do next. those choices, they're always yours. Even when everything else is beyond your control, this remains: your agency, your will, your ability to choose your response. You have people who care about you. Maybe not everyone you wish cared. Maybe not in exactly the way you wish they would. But someone, somewhere, there are people whose lives have been touched by yours. People who would miss you if you weren't here. People who are rooting for you. People who care. And even if you can't feel their presence right now, even if you feel alone, they exist. They're real, and that matters. You have whatever skills and capabilities you've developed, whatever you're good at, whatever ways you contribute or create or help or serve. The unchangeable thing, it didn't erase those. You can still do what you know how to do. You can still offer what you have to offer, maybe in different contexts now, maybe in different ways. But the essential you, the one who can do things, create things, solve things, that's still here. You have your history, all the moments you've lived, all the experiences you've had, the joyful ones and the hard ones, the loves and the losses, the successes and the failures, the ordinary days and the extraordinary ones. All of it has shaped you, made you who you are, given you the wisdom you carry, the perspective you have, the depth you've earned. Nobody can take your history from you. It's woven into the fabric of who you are. You have your values, what matters to you, what you believe in, what you stand for. The unchangeable situation might have tested those values, might have challenged them, might have made you question everything. But underneath all that questioning, they're still there. Your sense of what's right, what's important, what's worth caring about. Those don't disappear just because circumstances are hard. You have time, not infinite time. None of us do. But you have whatever time remains in your life. Days, weeks, years. However much it is, it's yours. And what you do with that time, how you spend it, that's still up to you. You can spend it fighting the unchangeable, or you can spend it living, creating, loving, growing, resting, being. The time is yours. The choice is yours. You have your capacity for growth, for learning, for change. This very moment, this journey we're on together tonight, this is evidence of that. You're learning how to accept, how to surrender, how to find peace. You're developing new capacities, new strengths, new ways of being, and that ability to grow, to evolve, to become. That's one of the most precious things about being human. And it's yours. It's happening right now. You have moments of beauty still available to you. A sunrise, a piece of music, a warm drink, a kind word, a memory that makes you smile, the comfort of your bed, the relief of tears, the softness of fabric, the taste of something delicious. These small things, they're still here, still real, still capable of touching you when you're present enough to receive them. You have your imagination, your ability to envision different possibilities, to dream, to hope, to consider what if. The unchangeable thing, it closed off one set of possibilities. But it didn't close off your ability to imagine new ones, to wonder what else might be possible, to stay curious about what comes next, to remain open to surprise. You have your resilience, your track record of surviving, of getting through, of finding ways forward even when the path wasn't clear. You've proven that already by getting to this point, by still being here, by being willing to try this different approach tonight. That resilience, it's not going anywhere. It's part of your foundation, part of what you can trust, And you have this moment of peace we're creating together right now. This respite from the fighting, this softness, this gentleness, this allowing. This is real too. This is available, not just tonight, but whenever you choose to return to it, whenever you remember that you can stop fighting and start accepting, whenever you remember that peace is possible, even when circumstances aren't perfect. All of this, all of these things, they're yours. They remain. They're part of your life, your reality, your resources, even though the unchangeable thing exists. Both can be true. You can have lost something and still have something. You can carry pain and still access beauty. You can acknowledge what's gone and still appreciate what remains. This isn't about toxic positivity. It's not about pretending the loss doesn't matter or that you should be grateful for hardship. It's just opening your eyes a little wider, seeing a more complete picture, recognizing that while something was taken, not everything was taken. While one door closed, not all doors closed. While this hurts, not everything hurts. And when you can see that, when you can hold both the loss and what remains, something shifts. The unchangeable thing. It doesn't have to define your entire life. It becomes one part, one thread in the larger tapestry. Still there, still visible, still real, but not the only thing, not everything. Your life, it's bigger than this one thing. It's more complex, more nuanced, more full. And as you accept what cannot be changed, you actually become more available to all these other things that remain. You stop missing your actual life because you're too busy fighting with reality. You start showing up, being present, receiving what's here, living what's available. That's the gift of acceptance. That's what it gives you back. Not the thing you lost, but everything else. Your presence, your energy, your capacity to receive, your ability to be here, fully here, in the life that actually exists rather than the one you wish existed. And that life, the real one, the one that's here, it's not nothing. It's not empty. It's not worthless just because it's not what you planned. It's still your life, still precious, still full of moments worth being present for, still unfolding, still yours. So breathe into this recognition, into this broader perspective. You don't have to force yourself to feel grateful if you're not. You don't have to pretend anything. Just notice. Just acknowledge. Just let yourself see that alongside the unchangeable thing. There is this, all of this, still here, still real, still available to you. You're held by so much more than you've been able to see while you've been fighting. And now, as you soften, as you open, as you accept, it all comes back into view. Not erasing the pain, but contextualizing it, surrounding it, holding it within something larger, something that includes both the hardship and the grace, both the loss and what remains, both the ending and the continuing. This is your life, all of it, the painful parts and the parts that still work, the closed doors and the open ones, the unchangeable past and the still unfolding future. And you're here, you're breathing, you're capable, you're learning, you're growing, you're accepting, you're finding your way. And that's beautiful. You're beautiful. Even in your struggle, even in your pain, even with the unchangeable thing you're learning to carry. You're still here, still showing up, still worth every gentle word, every soft breath, every moment of peace we're creating together right now. Rest in that. Rest in the fullness of your actual life. Rest in all that remains. Rest in the knowing that you're going to be okay, because you already are okay, right now, in this moment, just as you are. And now, we begin to gather everything together, all that we've explored, all that you've discovered, all that you've been willing to feel and see and accept. We're beginning to weave it all into something you can carry forward, something that will support you not just tonight, but tomorrow and all the days after. Your breathing has probably slowed by now, deepened. Your body has learned, through these last moments together, what it feels like to release, to soften, to stop fighting, and that knowing. It's in your cells now, in your muscles, in your nervous system. You can return to it whenever you need to. This isn't just for tonight. This is a gift you're giving yourself, for always. Let's take one more slow breath together. In through your nose, filling gently, and out, releasing completely. And with that exhale, feel how much you've already let go, how much lighter you already are. Even if it's subtle, even if it's small, it's real. You've done something profound here tonight. So what do you take with you from this journey? What's yours to keep? Let me remind you. Let me help you gather these truths like precious stones so you can carry them in your pocket, in your heart, wherever you go. You take with you the understanding that acceptance isn't defeat, that surrendering to what is isn't giving up on yourself, that you can stop fighting reality and still be strong, still be whole, still be you. This understanding, it changes everything. It gives you permission to finally rest. You take with you the knowledge that you can feel all your feelings and still move forward, that grief and growth can coexist, that sadness and peace can share the same space, that you don't have to wait until everything feels better to choose acceptance. You can accept now while still feeling whatever you feel. That's wholeness. That's integration. That's being fully human. You take with you the recognition of what remains, of all that you still have, all that's still here, all that's still possible, the unchangeable thing. It's not everything. It's one thread in a larger tapestry. And when you can see the whole picture, when you can hold both what's lost and what remains, you find your balance again. You find your way. You take with you the practice of gentle releasing, opening the tight fist, breathing out the grip, letting the rope slip from your hands. You know what it feels like now. You know how to do it. And whenever you find yourself fighting again, and you will, because that's human, you can remember. Oh, I'm holding on again. I can let go. I know how. And you practice again and again until it becomes natural. You take with you a new relationship with yourself, a kinder one, a more compassionate one that doesn't demand perfection, doesn't require you to be further along than you are, doesn't punish you for struggling, but instead holds you, speaks gently to you, acknowledges how hard this is, honors your effort, celebrates your willingness, loves you exactly as you are. You take with you the new story, the one where you can acknowledge reality without being destroyed by it, where you can carry something unchangeable without being defined by it, where you can move forward even though something ended, where you can find peace even though circumstances aren't perfect, where you're the author of your own experience, even when you're not the author of your circumstances. You take with you the memory of this moment. This night, when you finally allowed yourself to stop fighting, to soften, to rest, to be held by gentleness instead of driven by resistance. This moment is always here, always accessible. Whenever you need to remember what peace feels like, you can return here, to this breath, this allowing, this surrender. And perhaps most importantly, you take with you the promise of tomorrow, because you're going to wake up. And when you do, you're going to be different. Not completely transformed, not magically healed, but different, softer, more at peace, more accepting, more present. And that difference, it will continue to grow, day by day, choice by choice, breath by breath. Tomorrow you might remember this time. You might think about these words. You might recall what it felt like to finally let go. And in that remembering, you can choose again. Choose acceptance, choose presence, choose peace. Not perfectly, not permanently, but in that moment. And then the next, and then the next. Some days will be easier than others. Some days you'll feel at peace with what cannot be changed. Other days, the old pain will rise up and you'll want to fight again. Both are okay. Both are part of the journey. What matters is that you know you have a choice. You don't have to stay in the fighting. You can return to acceptance. You can return to gentleness. You can return to yourself. And over time, over many tomorrows, this becomes who you are. Someone who knows how to hold the unchangeable with grace. Someone who knows the difference between control and peace. Someone who has learned one of life's most important lessons. That surrender, true surrender, is a form of strength, a form of wisdom, a form of coming home to yourself. This is what you're integrating now. Not just accepting one specific situation, but learning a way of being, a way of meeting life, a way of holding whatever comes, with openness, with flexibility, with the understanding that you don't have to fight everything, that some things you can just allow. That makes you wiser, deeper, more resilient in ways you couldn't have been if everything had gone according to plan. Not because struggle is good, but because you learned how to move through it without being broken by it. You learned how to transform pain into wisdom, resistance into acceptance, fighting into peace. And that's no small thing. That's actually extraordinary. That's you becoming more fully yourself, more capable of being present with reality, more able to love and live and grow even when circumstances are difficult. That's evolution. That's growth. That's the kind of strength that only comes through choosing gentleness over force. So as we prepare to transition into even deeper rest, into sleep, into the healing that happens when consciousness releases its grip, I want you to take all of this with you. Tuck it into your heart. Let it settle into your bones. Let it become part of you, so that when you wake, it's still there, still supporting you, still available. You've done beautiful work tonight, brave work, important work. You've been willing to look at what you've been avoiding, to feel what you've been suppressing, to try something different than what you've been doing. That takes courage. That takes openness. That takes a willingness to trust, even when you're scared, that maybe there's another way. And there is. You found it. Not the way where everything becomes perfect, but the way where you find peace, even when it's not. The way where you accept what is and live fully anyway. The way where you carry your history without being imprisoned by it. The way where you're free, even with limitations, because you've stopped fighting the limitations and started living within them. This is your path forward. This is how you continue. Not perfectly, not without hard days, but with more peace, more presence, more of yourself available for actually living, more energy for what matters, more capacity for joy when it comes, more ability to simply be here in this moment, in this breath, in this beautiful, imperfect, ever-changing life. You're ready now, ready to rest, ready to let all of this settle deep into you while you sleep, ready to let your body and mind and spirit do their healing work while you simply let go. Let go of consciousness. Let go of effort. Let go of everything and drift into the peace that's been waiting for you all along. You're safe. You're held. You're exactly where you need to be. And everything is going to be okay. Not because the situation changed, but because you did. Because you learned how to meet it differently, to hold it differently, to carry it with grace. That's enough. You're enough. And now it's time to rest, to really rest, to let sleep take you gently, sweetly, into dreams, into darkness, into the deep healing that only comes when we finally stop fighting and simply let ourselves be held. We're entering the gentlest part of our journey now, the part where words begin to fade, where thinking becomes less important than feeling, where you start to drift. This is where we transition from waking to sleeping, from consciousness to dreams, from effort to complete, effortless rest. Your body knows what to do now. You've given it permission. You've released the fight. You've opened your hands. And now, your whole system can finally let go, can finally do what it's been longing to do. Sink, soften, surrender to sleep. Let your eyes be heavy now, if they're not already closed. So heavy, like they have gentle weights on them. There's no reason to keep them open. Nothing you need to see, nothing you need to watch for. Just let them close or stay closed. Heavy, resting, darkness behind your eyelids, soft, safe, darkness, and your breath. It's slowing even more now. You might not even notice it happening. Your body is taking over, breathing you, without any effort from you. Deep, slow, rhythmic, like waves on a shore. In and out, in and out. Each breath carrying you deeper, deeper into relaxation, deeper into rest. Your mind, it might still be trying to think, to hold on to the words, to stay present, but you can let that go too. You don't need to follow anymore. You don't need to understand. You can just drift. Let the words wash over you like water, like a gentle stream, not grasping at meaning, not trying to remember, just letting the sound, the rhythm, the soft flow of it all carry you. Imagine yourself floating now, floating on the most peaceful water you've ever known. Warm, gentle, perfectly supporting your body. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to swim. You don't have to stay afloat. The water holds you completely, totally. You're safe. You're supported. You can just float. Just let go. Just be held. And as you float, you notice the sky above you. Soft colors. Maybe the purple and pink of dusk. Maybe the deep blue of night dotted with stars. Maybe nothing at all. Just soft, undefined color. And it's so beautiful, so peaceful. And you're floating beneath it, part of it, held by it, safe in it. The water rocks you gently, like being cradled, like being a baby again. Rocked to sleep, so gently, so tenderly, back and forth, back and forth. Nothing to worry about, nothing to fear. Just this gentle rocking, this soft movement, this peaceful drifting. And you're starting to notice you're not sure if you're awake or already dreaming. The line between them is blurring, getting softer, hazier, and that's perfect. That's exactly right. You're in that beautiful, in-between place, that threshold, that doorway, and you can just let yourself drift through it. Maybe you notice sounds around you, or maybe everything is quiet. Whatever it is, it's perfect. It's all part of the gentle lullaby of this moment, all part of what's carrying you into sleep. You don't need to listen, don't need to pay attention. Just let it all be background, soft, distant, unimportant. Your body is so heavy now, so relaxed. Starting with your feet, they're completely heavy, sinking into whatever surface they're on. No tension anywhere, just weight, just softness. Your legs, heavy, relaxed, at peace. Your hips, your belly, your chest, all heavy, all soft, all sinking down into rest. Your arms are like weights beside you. Your hands completely open, fingers soft, no holding, no gripping, just releasing. Your shoulders have melted into the surface beneath you. Your neck is soft, your head is heavy on your pillow. So heavy, so comfortable, so perfectly supported, and your face, all the tiny muscles in your face have let go. Your forehead is smooth, your eyes are still, your jaw is slack, your tongue rests easily, your whole face, peaceful, at rest, beautiful in its complete relaxation. You might feel yourself starting to drift away from these words now, starting to lose the thread, and that's good. That's what we want. You don't need to stay with me anymore. You can go. You can drift. You can let sleep take you whenever it's ready. You don't have to wait. You don't have to hear everything. You can just go. 10. Feeling yourself sinking deeper, deeper into the soft surface beneath you, deeper into peace. 9. Letting go of the day, letting go of everything. Just this moment, just this breath, just this gentle drifting. 8. So relaxed now, so completely at ease. Nothing to do, nowhere to be, just resting. 7. Your mind getting quieter, thoughts becoming softer, like clouds passing through a gentle sky. Here, then gone. 6. Floating, drifting, somewhere between waking and sleeping. And it doesn't matter which. Both are peaceful, both are safe. 5. Deeper, feeling yourself going deeper into softness, into darkness, into the warm embrace of sleep. 4. So heavy, so relaxed, barely aware of anything now. Just this gentle feeling, this peaceful drifting. 3. Letting go completely of everything. Just letting go. 2. Sleep is here now, right here, welcoming you, ready to hold you, ready to heal you, ready to carry you through the night. 1. Drifting, floating, falling gently into sleep, into peace, into dreams. And you're safe, so safe, held by this moment, held by the night, held by your own beautiful system that knows exactly how to rest, how to heal, how to restore. Sleep now. Just sleep. There's nothing more you need to do, nothing more you need to think about. Just sleep. Everything you learned tonight is with you, settling into you, becoming part of you while you sleep. The acceptance, the peace, the gentleness. It's all here, all yours, forever. Sleep. Beautiful soul. Sleep. You did so well. So well. Now rest. Rest completely. Sleep deeply. And know, when morning comes, you'll wake with more peace than you fell asleep with. You'll wake different, softer, free. Sleep now. Just sleep. You're resting now. So deeply. So peacefully. And I'm still here with you. My voice getting softer, quieter, like a whisper on the wind. You don't need to follow the words anymore. You don't need to understand. Just let them be. Like a gentle lullaby, carrying you deeper, deeper into the softest sleep. Imagine yourself now dissolving, like sugar dissolving in warm water. Your edges getting softer, less defined. You're not a separate thing anymore, fighting to hold your shape. You're just melting, blending, becoming part of everything. Part of the peace, part of the night, part of the gentle darkness that holds all things. Feel yourself floating in space, weightless, completely weightless. No gravity, no pressure, no tension anywhere. Just floating, like a feather on a breeze, like a cloud drifting across an endless sky. So light, so free, so completely at ease. And as you float, you notice you're surrounded by the softest light, not bright, just gentle, like moonlight, like candlelight seen from far away. And this light is holding you, cradling you, wrapping around you like the warmest, softest blanket, and you're safe in it. So safe, so held, so loved. There's music. Maybe you hear it. Maybe you just feel it. So quiet, so gentle, like a distant hum, like the universe breathing. And it's the most beautiful sound you've ever heard. And it's carrying you, rocking you, singing you to sleep. Everything is exactly as it should be, right now, in this moment. Everything, the unchangeable thing, it's part of the tapestry, part of your story. And it's okay. It's all okay. You're okay. More than okay. You're perfect. Just as you are. Just as everything is. You can let go now. Completely. Of everything. Every last bit of holding. Every last thread of awareness. You can just release. Dissolve. Become nothing. Become everything. Become sleep. 10. Drifting deeper. Into pure peace. Pure rest. 9. So relaxed. Barely here anymore. Barely aware. 8. Floating. Dissolving. Melting away. 7. Nothing to hold. Nothing to be. Just this. 6. Deeper still. Into the softest darkness. 5. Letting go. Of everything. Even letting go. 4. Sleep is here. All around you. Inside you. 3. Barely awake. Mostly dreaming. Perfectly held. 2. Drifting. Fading. Becoming sleep itself. 1. Gone now. Into peace. Into rest. Into dreams. Sleep. Beautiful one. Sleep. You're safe. You're held. You're at peace. Everything you cannot change, you've accepted. Everything you can change waits for tomorrow, right now. There's only this. Only peace. Only sleep. Only rest. Sleep.